Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. We're into the final hour now of the transfer window. I have a lovely guest with me who rushed back home from work, got a quick shower, and came to join me for this final hour. Maybe there'll be a few more people drop in. Quick update, as far as we know, Calvin Phillips has had his contract ripped up at Manchester City. Maybe when he's back fit, we might, I don't know, have a conversation. So there's that. Just want to quickly address that because I know everyone will be mentioning it. But more importantly, the flight that Harry Wilson was due to get on, that was delayed and then delayed again, has now been cancelled. It may well be that it's been cancelled because there isn't enough time for him to get up here, and therefore they'll just do a medical down in Wales, because that can't be that difficult to do. I remember we did a medical for Jean-Kevin Augustin in a hotel room, so I think we can do a medical in Wales somewhere. But yeah, we don't know what's going on with that. Rightly so, a lot of people are frustrated with it. Andrea, obviously, I've been dipping in and out of our WhatsApp group all day. You are equally as frustrated. So, yeah, just give me your thoughts on what's been a bit of a mad day. It's not over yet, but it's not looking good, mate.
Yeah, it's not been looking good, man. Unfortunately, I am. I'm glad that you're cheering me up. In a certain sense. Am I froze now, or?
Yeah, you are. Just keep going though, man. Hopefully it'll be all right. Okay. You don't look cheered up on that frozen.
Yeah, exactly. That's the
true feeling.
The mugshot. Yeah, the mugshot of my happiness right now. Yeah, here I am back now.
You're back.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm talking with you through this final hour, because we need to cheer up each other, I think, because it's not looking good. Absolutely. And you know that I'm always composed, always professional, but I'm absolutely fuming inside, to be fair, if we don't get anyone, because that would be a total failure. That you can see that I'm already getting frustrated. The window is not over yet, so I want to stay calm for this final hour, that maybe I'll be more direct, but let's just say that if we don't get anyone over the line, or even just Wilson, I think they have failed the manager, because the Schalke has asked for 2 players now for 2 weeks, and also Prague, because the ownership ultimately put the recruitment team in charge. So of course it was down to them to appoint Underwood and his team. But Prague went publicly as the chairman and said, before Everton on Sky, he put his face on the line. He said certain things that created expectations. He said that usually transfers get lively in the final weeks, or even the final days of the window, and that created expectations that the words of Farke, on the other hand, I want 2 players, we need 2 players, were gonna be met. If we don't get, imagine we don't get anyone, those 2 declarations will massively backfire. And in the end, they appointed Underwood. He had a job to do. He still has a job to do. There's not much time left, of course. But if we don't deliver, I totally agree with what Farke said. It will be really difficult to stay up. Absolutely, 100%. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Like, at the end of the day, we know that it's going to be difficult anyway. We're going to be in a fight come the end of the season, but we know that the squad is incomplete right now. The squad is incomplete. We're going to a sword fight with butter knives in a way. The attack is definitely incomplete. I think what's most concerning for me is that we've spent 15 million on 3 players in the attack. 2 of them are free. One of them's Noah Okafor, who comes on the back of a poor season and injury issues. Now, what really should have happened with that, when you didn't get Muniz, when you didn't get Paixão, is, right, we've got a lot of money here now that we thought we'd have to use, but we've managed to get Calvert-Lewin on a free. Because Calvert-Lewin, he himself thought that he could have gone to Manchester United. He could have gone here. He could have gone there. It just so happens that it fell into both him and Calvert-Lewin's lap, and they said, right, let's make this happen.
Yeah.
Leeds United should have then gone, right, we've got this money. The tactic of waiting too long hasn't worked. We're now scrambling around with 50 minutes left of the window. It hasn't worked. this whole plan that we have and everything's going to fall into place. And like you've mentioned, Parag coming out and saying, you know, we know that business will be done and all that sort of stuff. He's going to end up with his egg on his face. And I don't want us to go, if we go down at the end of the season and it's for a few points here and there, I'll be so frustrated, man, because there'll be so many games. Listen, we spoke about it on the final word. And I know you weren't there last night, but we spoke about it and said, if we had them attacking players, there's nothing saying we could have already had 3 points from Newcastle.
Absolutely. Nailed it. Absolutely.
100%.
Totally agree. You know, first and foremost, I'm sorry that I couldn't make it yesterday because I didn't get back in time after watching
basketball.
Italy thrashing. Yeah, exactly. We watched with my cousin and some friends too. Italy versus Bosnia, so I didn't get back in time, unfortunately. But yeah, I totally agree. You know, if you look at how we created in the final third, yeah, we got in the right spaces, but we didn't create chances, basically, or concrete chances and efficiency. With different players, you know, Aris, Nyonto, James, they grafted. Yeah, they run, they tried, they fought, but it's not enough in the Premier League. You need quality. You need to beat your man 1v1. You need to be clinical. And that's a major difference, you know, between being clinical in the Championship and being good enough for the Premier League. So the fact that he subbed them off both in the 60th minute, that's very early for Farke, by the way, 60 minutes, you know, for Aronson and Harrison, who, again, both of them really fought, really tried, really pressed, you know, tried to leave their mark. But again, no efficiency, no clinicality. So you need better players. Okafor arrived, already injured. On the right, Bakva, gone to Forest, Buonanotte. Another thing, mate, that I can get my head around is we let Ramazani leave in terms of numbers too, but the deal with Buonanotte was not sealed yet.
Yeah.
So if you let Ramazani leave, you need a replacement done and dusted, already sealed. It wasn't sealed because Chelsea arrived, hijacked the deal, and went to them. So we still haven't a replacement in terms of numbers on the right for Ramazani. We're one man short. Imagine we don't sign anyone. We have left a winger go to Valencia, but we haven't brought in a replacement if we don't sign Wilson. That's the other thing of leaving this too late. You know, it paid off probably in the Championship because we got Solomon, but we had more money than the others in the Championship. We had push because we're one of the teams that had the ambition, the goal of getting promoted. So you attract players, you know, even in the same league. You know, if you want to attract players from the same league, you can attract them. Different beast the Premier League is, you know. I'm talking like Yoda now with the verb at the end. But yeah, you know, you need to really explore the markets properly. Look at Sunderland, you know, Florent Gisolfi, director of football, was at Roma last season, was at Lens, long career in France. They have let, like you said, I heard you before, you know, during the day when you talk about Guyu, you know, they let Guyu go. Guyu went back to Chelsea, straight ahead, they get him Broadway. 24 hours. 24 hours. Gertruida, Bologna have not let Lukumi go into Sunderland. Gertruida in. You know, they have plan B, plan C, plan D. The problem is, man, Diarra, we didn't get him, went to Sunderland. Sadiki didn't get him, went to Sunderland. Bakva went to Forest. Buonanotte went to Chelsea. Muniz, we chased him like the Ketelere. He stayed at Fulham. They were never going to sell him to a direct rival. Now they're getting better in terms of quality because they are adding some players in the final hours, but they are way better than us now. Krstovic, agreed, but he wanted to wait for Atalanta for a better team in Italy, and he waited and got this move. Pinamonti, apparently, we had signed an agreement with Sassuolo too, according to Pedola in Italy, some weeks ago, you know, very early in the window, but he didn't want to come to Leeds. So all of our targets, by Shaw too, we didn't get all of our main targets. We didn't succeed in terms of offense to get one of our main targets. That's the point, you know. That's the point. And it's really worrying now.
Just to quickly update, we've had a here we go on Kevin going to Fulham. We've also had here we go on Samu Chukwueze to Fulham. Okay, so they've got their two wingers. With an hour left, there now is space for Harry Wilson to leave. There's just been an article reject, but when you actually look into the article, that's referencing the loan earlier on. You hope now, at the end of the day, Harry Wilson was already, his minutes were reducing season on season. Yes, he's been involved this season, but with Chukwueze and Kevin coming in, them minutes are even, lesser for him now. So,
yeah.
Can you imagine a world where we don't get this over the line? Like, I'm like, please, can we get this done? But if we don't, like, I've not even begun to think about there's a chance that we don't get this done, if I'm honest.
There shouldn't be a chance we don't get this done, to be fair. Because
you've got to get it done, haven't you?
You get to get it done, but even if you get it done, it's not enough. I'm sorry, it's not enough. We started the window talking about Pike Shaw and end up with no disrespect to him because he's a good player for the Premier League. He's been playing there for quite a few seasons now. I still remember him at Derby County, in the under Lampard. But yeah, he's a good player, Wilson. But we from Shaw on the left, of course, Pike Shaw to Bakwa to Forest, and now you get Wilson. In terms of quality, we are lowering down from week after week. I like Wilson. He's a good player, versatile too. But honestly, he's better than what we have right now. Okafor probably in terms of talent. But yeah, Okafor will need time to get adjusted back to the winger position because before he moved to Italy, he played in the 9, and I think he is a good, very very good versatile 9. But yeah, he's better than what we have currently, but it's not a big step up, to be fair, to be from Harrison, Nyonto, and James, to be fair. He's better than them, but there's not a huge gap. He's not like the game changer that Bakwa or Pike Shaw could have been. It's a good squad player in the system that they have at Fulham. He did well for the system they have. We play a different system compared to them. So yeah, he will do good between periods, but yeah, it's not a big game changer for us, in terms of talent and quality to that I think, yeah, that's the player that is gonna be the difference between staying up and going down in certain games. Like, for example, Rafa was in the second season. We're talking about Rafa, okay, or Somerville in the Championship when we needed to push, or Solomon last season. He's not gonna be that kind of player. He's gonna be a good system player, but he's not the star player in the team, in a certain sense, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, 100%. I do. I like the player. I like the signing. If this had been mooted 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I wouldn't have been as hyped. But I'm at a place where I'm like, okay, at least it's someone in that can play on the right side, can play in the 10, can take a set piece. So this is a positive. Has got Premier League experience. I sort of put him in the same sort of bracket of a Sean Longstaff in terms of Premier League experience, etc., and what he would bring to us. But I mean, if we don't get it, it's bad. We can't rely on, although we'd have to, a right side of James and Aronson. We just can't. It's not good enough. And listen, if we don't get any deals done, January 1st, I want a fucking striker in this door. I want a right winger in this door. But yeah, I don't know. Where does the blame lie for you? Where does it lie for you, Andrea, in terms of the window?
For me, it's on the recruitment team, to be fair. People can say Farke in, Farke out. He may make his mistakes, in terms of reading the game. Like at Arsenal, he was really bad. It was a good setup against Newcastle, good setup against Everton. The manager is responsible for the setup of the team on the pitch. But if he doesn't have the players that can elevate the team, it's not down to him, to be fair. He's been asking for players. Every one of us, or the majority of us, have highlighted in this space the need for attacking players is the start on the window. We did even scouting reports, at the start of the window, and the names that we mentioned, like Ioannidis, Demirovic, Bakwa, those kind of players, they came into the space weeks later, because these were the players in the end. If you look at the markets, especially in Europe, But yeah, I think it's down to recruitment in the end. The 49ers made a choice, a unique one in a certain sense, because you take Sunderland, for example, another newly promoted team. They went for an experienced director of football who was at Rome last season. They decided to appoint Underwood, who had never been a director of football before. He worked at the club, of course, was held in high esteem, but the Premier League and being a director of football is a complete different beast compared to working in the academy. Kisolfi, another example is he worked as an assistant director of football in France before becoming an actual director of football in his career. So you need a period of an understudy. They saw certainly something in him to appoint him in the job. Because it's really a big step up from going from youth football to lead senior director of football. A really big step up. It's a completely different stage. And in the end, I think he has backfired in a certain sense the strategy that they had adopted, because we didn't get the offensive players. I think the defense was sorted pretty well. In the end, we got two nice backups at centre back. Gudmundsson more defensive minded. I think Firpo's still better than him, to be fair, for what I'm seeing in the first few games. More versatile too. Justin, good backup. Two good midfielders, Longstaff and Stack. But Stack was a 6 in Germany, so he will need time to adapt in the new role that Farke wants for him. And up front, Okafor, a 9 that will need to adapt to a position on the left wing. Then you have two free transfers, Calvert-Lewin, Mecha, marked by injuries in recent seasons. And then, you have a returning player like Harrison. My opinion on the strikers. I think we need one more, to be fair, because Pirot is struggling in the Premier League, and you need the goals ultimately. Calvert-Lewin, Mecha will help the team certainly, but will they score the goals to keep us up? Are they double-digit strikers? I think every team needs a double-digit striker, because if you don't have one that can go double-digit, you need a double-digit winger that can get the goals, or a midfielder that has goals in him, and we don't have none apparently now. Maybe Okafor. The other ones, unfortunately, I think will need to really step up their game to get to that level, from the Championship. I'm talking about James and Nyonto. And Harrison hasn't scored much in recent seasons, But my opinion. Pirot, Mecha, Okafor, good players, especially. But I don't see any one of them starting in another Premier League club, to be fair.
Sunderland are taking the piss at this point as well. Just been reported by Keith Downey, exclusive. It's back on. Sunderland have agreed a deal with Ajax for Bertrand Traore. So Bertrand Traore, Proby, Xhaka, Siddiqui, Diarra. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but is it Gertrudia?
Gertruida.
Great. Yeah, I won't even try again. They've had an unbelievable window. And what it also does show me is, like, what the fuck are we doing? Because Sunderland, in the last 24 hours, have managed to get like 3 players in the door. They've got Broby, they're going to get Traore, and they've got Gertrudia. Gertrudia, by the way, who's Leipzig, who's RB, that we apparently are like this with, They've got 3 players in the last 24 hours of the window, and we can't get one in. We can't get fucking one in. It's a joke, is what it is. Genuinely, it's a joke. I'm pissed off, man.
Yeah, I think you have every right to be.
But this isn't the point. Sorry, this isn't the point, though, Tom. I hear what you're saying, right? Okay, if you don't think he's good, that's fine. Football is about opinions, right? But that's not the point here. The point is they've still managed to get 3 in the door while we're scratching our fucking balls. Do you know what I mean? It's brutal.
It's very physical for the Premier League. Premier League mate, already played in the Premier League too, but he's very physical, can play on the wing and up front too. So versatile player that again, and he's played at Ajax in recent times, so he hasn't played at no offense, but like Ehrenven or Groningen.
What's mad as well, like, let's not forget, one of these players was to replace a player that got pulled out from under them just 24 hours ago as well. Chelsea rang up. They said, we want Mark Gui back. Do you know what? I bet Sunderland couldn't believe their eyes when they took him back and thought, no one's took Broby yet, Let's go and do a deal there. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. And this is how embarrassing it is, folks. We put in a loan for Harry Wilson in the last year of his contract. What, you thought Fulham would go, yeah, go on, pay for him for a year and then he can leave for free? But they're not Leeds United, like with Koch and all these other players.
Exactly, Koch.
You know, Koch, we let him go on, you go out on loan and then he can leave for nothing. The reason they extended Harry Wilson's contract was so they could get some dollar. Give us something.
Yeah.
Idiots, man. It shows incompetence, naivety, inexperience.
I was looking, at how we spend the money, Mechak, Calvert-Lewin free, but 50 million on Biol. Apparently 5 million on board now. 10 million on Gudmundsson, 12 on Longstaff, 17 on Stach, 15.6 for Perry, and 18 for Okafor, and between 8 and 10 for Justin. Yeah, that's how you spend the money. But do you see really in these names, okay, good defensive players, good fullbacks, good midfielders, but do you see the attacking force, the attacking players that can keep us up between those players and the money that we spend distributed between these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players? Genuine question.
I know, and it's not. And the thing is, someone made a good point to me earlier. Danny messaged me and he went, even if we're skint, right, should we have spent 2 million on James Justin? Should we have gone, do you know what? It's more important that this goes towards an attacking player if it's a loan or whatever, because what we can do is play Harrison at left back if worst comes to worst and Byram at right back. And I know that's mad, but if we are skint and we are having to move plates around, then was it worth spunking 10 million on James Justin? Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what they expected. Listen, I don't know who's to blame, but if Parag's appointed these people, Parag stood before Everton saying, we're still going to do bits all the time, saying the right things. The managers even come out after the Newcastle game, said, we need more. And then for nothing to happen, someone, because we could go down, man. They want to do the
stadium.
The stadium, man. If we're not here, that's bad. And this is the truth as well, Jamie. Who will pay for this? He will be sacked.
Yeah.
And this is a good point as well. I said this last time, and this will be the difference between us buying and selling a player. I was saying that last summer, and then they tried to spin it out a yarn of, that's the reason why we managed to let Rutter go for 40 instead of 30, because of the Red Bull deal. They're scrapping around. It's like they forgot sometimes what they've said. I think so, mate. Yeah. Because if we've struggled to create, even if we bring Harry Wilson in, and I will take that like spoonful of sugar and be happy, I won't lie to you, because we need someone to play on the right.
Yeah.
But like Andrea was saying earlier, is he enough of a needle mover to see us create chances against that Newcastle side? I would argue no. So listen, I've not seen that from anywhere official yet. So I'll wait and see till I see that. But yeah, we'll wait and see. And if the window shuts, which shuts in 30 minutes with nothing, they need to go.
I think it's really disappointing to see that Falk has been the face of the club for the last 3 years. He's been the only one speaking publicly, representing the clubs in his press conferences, answering the transfer questions, from the press. I remember 2 years ago when we had the clauses situation, he was the only one who was giving us answers, in that specific situation. When we went to Birmingham with Shackleton, Gellert, and, with a completely different team than compared to the one that finished the season, and we lost to a penalty at Birmingham, We didn't know the real situation of the clauses expiring and all that. He was the only one giving us answers, So he always put his face up front and answered. The only one talking. Now, rarely Parag has spoken, with his statement, end of season statement, and now with Sky, because you have to speak with the press in the Premier League, with the interviews, But talking about the investments and the money were there. It's not about being skinned or anything. Apparently the price was 40 for Moniz, was 40 for Paixão. The money were there. We were willing to spend that money. So where has that money gone? Maybe invested partly with Okafor with a 20 million deal. But apart from that, the fact is all the players that we signed are good players, but there's no star that can keep us up. No efficient, proven player for the Premier League that has a established GA in a top tier that can keep you up. I'm talking consistently because Calvert-Lewin has scored goals in the past.
Sorry, just to jump in, mate. 4 minutes ago from Miguel Delaney, Leeds move on the cards for Wilson. Fulham's Harry Wilson could be on for a late move to Leeds, who have reignited their interest in the midfield with time running out. This is just one of many deals that may get done in the next half hour or so. That was updated just 5 minutes ago, folks. So yeah, we'll see that. That's out there now by Miguel Delaney on the piece. So I guess we'll see. 6:27 that was. So yeah, just 5 minutes ago. So we'll see what happens there, folks. Sorry, Andre. Sorry for cutting you off.
No worries, man. I was just talking, about the fact that even if we signed Wilson, last season, he had good, not great, he had 6 goals and 2 assists last season. The season before 2023, 2024, 4 goals, 7 assists. The one before 2 goals, 5 assists. Decent, good, but I think the system at Fulham really helps him in a certain sense, and we play in a different system. But I didn't, I'm intrigued too about the fact that, he started the first game that they played this season, but that the other 2 games he was left on the bench and subbed on later. But the starter was Timothy Castano, who is a wing back, not a winger for me. He's more of a wing back. In Italy, he plays as a defender, a fullback at Atalanta. So he's a good player, good, good squad player for me. It's a player that he's very good to have in the squad, but. I would be really happy if you have Wilson on the right, but also an opportunity to alternate him with another proven player. That's what I mean. I'm not against Wilson in terms of a player, but I'm against the fact that good signing. That would be a good signing, but we don't have that. We still don't have the finisher, the game changers up front that we needed, in my point of view. The ones that keep you up, like Sunderland signed. I think right now, to be fair, it's us and Burnley in terms of squad levels at the bottom. To be fair, we need to do. Falco needed to repeat what Bielsa did in the first season, to elevate the Ailings, the Clicks, the Harrisons, the Phillips of the case right now, who are basically James. Harrison again, Aronson, Gruev. But again, there's only one Marcelo Bielsa, so again, the full guy will be Falke if things don't go in the right way,
Cameron Clark says we go down, they sell to Red Bull and we are Red Bull Leeds. Isaac Johnson's just sort of piggybacked on the back of what else has been said. Transfers can still go through after 7 p.m. as long as the deal sheet is submitted. Leeds have half an hour to do so with Harry Wilson. Talks are still progressing. As far as we know, a breakthrough has come imminently. I don't know where these reports are that it's done and stuff. I swear that everyone's just exactly the same. No one really knows, and they just say things. But we the ones that get stick, etc. It's not always the thing, but we'll see. Fulham, I think it still could happen. Wacko saying Harry Wilson is now done. And Hamer is a last-second move. We'll see. I don't know how reliable that is as well, because FPL's saying don't go to bed just yet and stuff. Look, at the end of the day, Harry Wilson is now available. I don't know if they mean done as in done, or it's a done deal. We'll have to wait and see. But there's no excuses, right? Because Harry Wilson... If they don't get him, they've just been unwilling to pay, because at the end of the day, they've bought Fulham in the last 24 hours have got Kevin, have got Chukwueze, and took Tyreek George from Chelsea. They've signed 3 wingers in the last 24 hours. So Harry Wilson is available. So if you still don't manage to get this deal done, then you're fucked. I would say the ending to the window stinks anyway. We know this, right? Sometimes you can't polish a turd. I'll try my best to. But I don't mind Harry Wilson, the player. But again, you know, like Jamie's saying, some wanted 3. And I said 2. But to only get 1 and it to be Harry Wilson, I get why everyone's going to be pissed. But there's no excuses because Fulham have signed Tyreek George, Chukwueze, and Kevin. They've signed them all today. So Harry Wilson's available. So you can't drop this ball.
Yeah.
You can't, can you, Andrea? It's there.
Yeah, it's there. And it's not his fault, you know, that we are in this current situation.
No.
It's a good point, like both of us have said, you know, but we definitely needed more because, again, he can play central too, but he's better off the wing. But again, if we are stick completely to 4-3-3, we cannot switch now. We cannot switch because the only number 10 you have now, you can play Wilson too, but you lose his threat from the right. But
you put Wilson in the center and James on the right, don't you? That's
yeah, but the problem is that still we're missing a natural 10 for me.
Yeah,
so we're stuck with 4-3-3. Even switching to a back 3, you know, in a certain sense, you play 3-4-3, you know, but you have like to have a 6 like Ampadu and an 8. You can choose between Stack, Longstaff, and Tanaka, you know, because Stack is seen as an 8 now. But then you have Gudmundsson and Bogo, so 2 offensive-minded, and you are exposed to attacks. You can play 3-5-2, but again, you play with no wingers. You have to play with 2 strikers, and we are a team full of wingers now without a proper right winger. And now probably Wilson is going to sign. But again, the only formation that this squad is built for is 4-3-3. We are not flexible. We are not versatile because of the options that we have in this team. We are completely stuck to 4-3-3. Even if we were to change the manager throughout the season because things go bad, and again, he will be the fall guy for the mistakes and the failures of the recruitment team. In that case, even if a different manager comes in that wants to play a different formation, we don't have the squad to switch the formation. This squad is built solely, my opinion, for 4-3-3.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's so frustrating. 5 transfer windows with Farker and still no Cam signed. Yeah. But then again, you know, whenever I praise him for what he's done last season and that, and straight away, like, people go, well, he had best team in league. He still was left without parts that, you know, it could have been much easier. But, you know, it is what it is. Squad planning being toffee. Yeah, it's not been great, has it? Where does it
toffee is it's like a sweet toffee. Toffee is like
yeah, like toffee, like rubbish.
Ah, okay.
Rubbish.
Okay.
It's a term. Not everybody would use it, but yeah. Where does it say we're getting? No, where's it? See, this is what I'm saying. There's loads of misreporting and all that sort of stuff. Who said it was dead? Just a Leeds thing. Who said that?
Is Ryan Kent coming to Leeds? Probably no.
Maybe.
We're running the territory.
Merch tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. And I'm annoyed at that, you know. I'm annoyed at that because I don't really want to buy it now. But I really like that stuff. But yeah, it is what it is. Annoyed, man. Aston Villa were not... What's that? Have not scored with Rodgers, Buendia and Watkins. Ouch. What is it?
Can I ask you something, man? On Buendia? Because, you know, I think we were in for him, to be fair. I think we should beat him alone. But again, it was, you know, pushed down by I don't remember which one, but one of the local journalists saying, I think 2, maybe Poppy. And I don't remember if Isaac Johnson or Barry Cross, you know, saying that the Leeds had refuted, you know, the fact
that they did this with Sadiki, mate. Come on.
I think we submitted, honestly, to be fair, an offer for Buendia because it makes sense. It makes sense, you know. Farke was one of Farke's favorites, you know, Pretoriani in ancient Rome, you know, one of his most trusted soldiers, you know. So made sense, you know, because of the San Sancho. I think we tried to get Buendia on loan, but again, you know, he has better suit to see if he has to leave, and you know, they will need to sell him on a permanent, probably. To us, they were looking to do that, but yeah, we'll see about even the negotiations with Wilson. I think, yeah, maybe we get him. It only makes sense to get him now in the current situation, but it's not a good start in negotiations when you submit a loan for a player that's out of contract next summer, And they know that we have the money because remember the price tag about Muniz. So yeah, they're gonna make us spend the last to the last penny, the last note for Wilson, because they were looking to get some money, a good fee, considering that they may lose him otherwise for free next summer, because he's not going to renew his contract if he has Kevin Chukwueze ahead of him. He's going to stay there, be a sub, of course, so it's in his interest to move to Leeds, but I think Fulham will say, okay, pay what we want.
I think he wants the deal because he has friends here. Obviously, he's played with Bogle before. He knows James. He knows Ampadu. He knows. For him, he'll go, do you know what? He knows Darlow. I'm not going to play. These players are ahead of me. I go to Leeds United. I know it's a big club. I've played against them in games. I'm with my international compatriots. Harry Wilson will want this move, man.
Absolutely.
He'll want this move,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so hopefully we can get it done, but yeah.
Time is ticking, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. What is it now? 15 minutes, bro.
Yeah.
15 minutes.
Get that that's what's the name? Spreadsheet.
Deal sheet.
Deal sheet paperwork, call it what you want, but get that, over the line, so we can still complete that before the deadline. Before deadline is over, the countdown.
Poor Lockie, man. Lockie was supposed to be on, but he's been so stressed with the window. I messaged him. I was like, "Are you coming on, bro?" But he's lying down. He can't, man. He can't deal with it. You know what I mean? The Leeds United deal for this was 6:42, folks. Oh God.
It's like when we signed Connor Roberts. Remember that? It was me and you here, waiting for till the last minute, about have we signed him or not? The window is over. Have we signed him or not? And 2 minutes later, he said, "Yeah, the paperwork was submitted in time, and we are signing Connor Roberts."
Yeah. So I'm gonna share with you what Miguel Delaney's been saying anyway. Just one sec. But it's not looking good, Brav. So it says Leeds United deal for Harry Wilson is now in real difficulty. Currently looks like staying at Fulham, bar a drastic change. Another that's gone back and forth all day. Why is it gone back and forth? Why have Leeds United just fucking get the deal done?
That's why, man. The timing.
Yeah, time. True.
I'm speechless.
How are you going to balls it up, man? How are you going to balls it up?
You know what, Jimmy? That tweet, I really like Wilson. He's a good guy. But that tweet, it had so many Adam Forshaw from Radicani vibes, to be fair.
Oh, so
honestly.
Man. Genuinely, I think this is worse than don't go to bed just yet.
I agree, to be fair, honestly.
Because that was when we were like League One, right? League One. Was it League One or Championship?
No, it was the Championship when they said wait, and then they sold Polion.
Yeah, Jason Pierce put a tweet out saying, "Ooh, interesting," or something like that. And then we saw Dom Polion
going to Oldham, I think.
Who else? Yeah, probably. But this is worse.
Matt Smith to Fulham.
Matt Smith, yeah.
Big Matt Smith.
This is worse.
Because it's the Premier League and we are actually good with an ownership that, listening to the words of the manager at the end of last window of the last season and 2 weeks ago after Everton, they have money to spend to the last penny, they said. But we got players to cover and strengthen the team in midfield and in defense. Still missing a creative midfielder in my point of view, but on the offense, apart from 2-3 transfers that were substitutes at their club, by the way, at Wolfsburg and Everton, because of their injury worries too, we didn't get the players that can take us to the next level, to be fair, honestly, because actually Arizona has come back, but you don't have Solomon. We started with Gnonto and James. Gnonto was the backup of Solomon last season in the Championship. So you're starting with a player that was a backup when you went up. And we left it too late, honestly, to be fair. Left it too late. Even Burnley, people might disagree with that, but they have... I'm not talking about the quality, but now they have Broya injured,
Florentino Luis come in
Florentino
today
Luis
as well.
come in.
Big signing.
Yeah, but they have
Big
Broya
signing.
injured, but they have Amdouni now injured, I think, but he played at Benfica. It was fine last season at Benfica. Ashley Barnes, Foster, they have 4 strikers. People told me that you cannot have 4 strikers apparently, and the 25-man list, but now they have offloaded Benson. I think they're looking to sell Benson, and Obafemi is moving to a club in continental Europe, I think. But yeah, they have 4 strikers. If another striker gets injured, they have options. They can rotate, and they have Marcus Edwards. Marcus Edwards is better than James and Harrison.
Not this one, bro. Not this one.
So no, we always said, by the way, Sunderland. We always said it's off to Sunderland or it's off to Gizolfi, because they got the deals that they wanted, their top targets earlier. Even snatched 2 from us. They are Ryan Sadiki. So yeah, they were smart. They were actually smart, and they knew, because they had a top director of football that was at Roma last season. They knew what they needed to do. Because they won the playoffs, they finished 6th. They knew that they needed to get more players than the others, because to up the quality compared to last season, and they reinvested the money of Bellingham too. So it's off to them, honestly. They were smart. They were really smart.
This is crazy, isn't it? We haven't even filled our 25-man squad. All week we've been talking about, we might have someone might not make the squad. What about this? We've not even fucking filled it. That's Mellier's still here. Ilya Mellier's still here.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
You know what, man? I rarely talk about my local club, Reggiana. They play in the 2nd tier of Italy. They have 31 players now. Some players are gonna be left out of the list. There's no problem for them, because you have to make hard decisions. That's also why you have a Premier League 2 squad where Hausen plays. Some players are gonna be left out. Could have been left out of the list. If you didn't find them a club for them. And play with the reserves, basically, with the youth team, like Hausen, for example. Hausen is not a first-team player, but you know what I mean. There's also veterans that can play in that league. If you don't want to include them in the Premier League list.
Yeah. I can't believe this, honestly.
Man, actually, Hausen is gonna be the 25th man of the list, because he fills the quota, the homegrown quota. It's gonna be him. Trust me. If we don't sign anyone, it's gonna be in the 25 man. It can be realistic, to be fair, because it feels.
I wonder if they'll be willing to go and do fucking Sky interviews now. I wonder if they'll be willing to do Sky interviews and get in radio and all that shit now. Poor Farker. He must be pulling his hair out. It won't surprise me if, when we see him for Fulham away, he's got a skinhead like me. He's just shaved it all off, Farker. He's thought, I've had enough, man. I'm going militant. This is mental.
I think, honestly, not only Farke, but also Parag will be fuming, honestly, because he went out publicly and said, these things. And now I think he's going to be fuming at the recruitment team, because he said, I put my head and my face on the line for you at this end of the window. Like, we're going to spend every last penny we have. And then 2 weeks ago said, usually the windows is gets very lively in the final weeks, and even in the final days, we'll see what happens, So he said openly what he talked, and people read it in, okay, we're going to get players now in the final days of the window. So he's going to be fuming too if you don't get anyone to the recruitment team, like saying, I put my face on the line and said certain things, and you didn't back up those things. Now you're making I promise certain things, and I didn't maintain my promises, but it's down to you that you didn't get us the players that we needed, So decisions will need to be taken, honestly, to be fair. I don't think there's a room for them to be sacked, to be fair now.
No, you can't sack him. How can you sack him?
Because they have appointed them, and it will be like, okay, we are meeting that 6 months into the job, we got the decision of the director of football wrong, so they're gonna give them till January, but you cannot afford to to get January wrong if we are in a bad position too. But I'm really disappointed, honestly, by the recruitment team. Honestly, I expected a lot better. I think every Leeds fan, especially in the attacking position, expected a lot better, to be fair, especially looking at the pace that we were linked to, Buonanotte, Bakva, Paixão, Demirovic, Giannidis, all those players, on a certain level, different level of interest, of course. But yeah, going from them to just probably Harry Wilson, to free transfers, a 9 on the left wing. Yeah,
to make matters worse as well, yeah, fucking Fulham have signed a striker as well. Kussi Azari from Bayern Munich. Loan deal without option fee up to 4 million. Fulham are set to beat Anderlecht PSV Sporting. So in the last 24 hours, Fulham have gone from signing no one to signing 4 players. 4 players.
Tells a lot. Tells a lot. Who's the director of football there? I'm not
sure. Just on this, Gary, what do you... Sorry, mate, I know we're friends, right? But what do you mean don't overthink this? Don't overthink what? We have an incomplete squad. There's nothing to overthink. The manager sat. We can read his words verbatim. We will not wave the white flag, but it'll be very difficult to stay up. I think the game against Newcastle was the lowest XG this season and also the second lowest for the whole of last season, right? We can't create. So we need 10 wins. Well, 9 now for me. We're going to struggle to get that because we don't have the firepower. People wanted 3. I thought it was ambitious. I thought we might get 2. 1, definitely. We've got none. You are relying on a right wing of Dan James and Aronson. If you've watched Leeds this season, you can see it. It's not working. I'm not having... Look, I back Aronson, but I don't... People didn't want him playing in the Championship. Now they're okay with him being... I didn't mind him, by the way, and I don't mind him being in the squad. But let's not all be okay now with him being off the bench in the Premier League. It was 0-0 against Newcastle, and Aronson's brought on the right-hand side because James has run himself into the ground. Aronson. He's not a right winger for me. Anyway.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
Do you know, I tell you, sorry, Andrea, because Lockie said this the other day. Do you know what our best winger is? He's fucking our right back, Jayden Bogle.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with him, honestly.
And he's our right back. Do you know what I mean? Maybe, I tell you what we should do. Get James Justin at right back and play Bogle right wing. That's probably our best bet. Because Aronson and James, unfortunately, in the Premier League... So I don't think it's like take a breath, step back. Of course, we'll regroup, we'll go again. But the fact that we haven't resolved this issue. Also, now we're wedded to 4-3-3. We can't play 4-2-3-1. And if we do play 4-2-3-1, it means Pirro in the 10. And that stinks in the Premier League. It stinks. So that, again, is an issue. We're now praying that Calvert-Lewin and Mecha and Okafor can stay fit. Okafor's played 1 game against Sheff Wednesday. He's already on the sideline. So we're praying on that. We're in the Premier League, man. Premier League. It's not good enough. It is not good enough. And to be honest, someone said something to me earlier on as well and said, the irony of a guy sat in his bedroom telling someone they should be sacked. I hope you're watching this, bro, because don't hate on me because I'm sat at home in my nice room being able to talk about football. And I will give my opinion on my football club. And the football club that you support and I support means a hell of a lot to me. So what I will say, I am emotional. I get this. We from the start have a big chance of staying up. Leeds United, Burnley, Sunderland have already collected more points than the other teams, all that sort of stuff. We've got back-to-back clean sheets. We are about to buck the trend, can buck the trend. But what we're doing now, we're screwing ourselves because what could happen, right? Let's say we had an opportunity here to take the bull by the horns, bring in some players and climb up the table because I'm going to tell you now what will happen in January. If West Ham, if Wolves are still languishing down the bottom, they'll probably sack their manager and they will pump money into it. A lot of money as well, right? West Ham were struggling 2 games. They went and spunked 40 million on the midfielder Fernandes from Southampton like that. Bam, there you go. There you go. Wolves signed another striker on top of Strand Larsen. Boom, there you go. So come January, if we're in and around it, it's going to be long. It's going to be long for us. Whereas we had a real opportunity. If you give the manager the personnel, we can maybe have a nice little buffer, then go ourselves in January. But instead, we've sat on our hands for far too long. When was the last deal we did? James Justin. When was the last, Okafor? Do you know, this is the funny side of it as well. And maybe I'm clowning here. But Okafor wasn't on Leeds United's radar. Then we played him in AC Milan in Aviva, and he loved the atmosphere. Wouldn't surprise me if they went over to Underwood and said, "Oh, we'll be up for a move, you know," because we weren't linked before then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Was he even on our list? He probably wasn't even on our list. Probably said, "I love this app." And I've told you before. And he went, "Get the video out, get the TV out, get the VCR, and get the video out. Look at Farkeria celebrating and Ampadu shouting Fernando's. Such a mint place to be. Sign for us. It's embarrassing." Sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
I agree. Honestly, I agree with everything. Honestly, because we had time. We had a lot of time. Now it's 4 minutes left. You know, actually 3 minutes left. You know, before the window closes, we're entering the. I'm not gonna say red zone, the blue zone, because we don't like, of course. But yeah, you know, the final minutes of the window, and unless we get, you know, a tweet saying that, yeah, it's getting, you know, the paperwork is getting submitted, so they can still have an hour to finalize the deal. It's no players signed today on deadline day. I think we needed 3. Parker wanted 2, and we may end up with none. While our direct rivals are getting strengthened all around. Actually, about Florentino, I was talking this morning about, you know, the fact that we wake up, we read about Sperzian, Krasnodar staying at Krasnodar. We read about Sunderland getting Gertruida and Brobbey, and we read about Florentino. Someone said to me, "What has Florentino? What does Florentino has to do with us? Nothing in that position. We are covered, yeah.
Yep.
But we are covered. But Gruev, you know, one decent game. This doesn't say that, you know, is good for all the whole season for the Premier League. But yeah, we're covered. The problem is we are covering that position, but Burnley are getting a proper player in the squad that can be a game changer for them. You know, in terms of the build-up, in terms of the ball carrying, you know, is a good all-around player for Florentino. So it has nothing to do with our squad, you know, in terms of additions. It has to do. It has something to do about direct rivals getting players in the and covering the holes that they have in their teams. So getting Stratton more to us. Burnley is catching up to us, honestly, and they have more squad depth than us. Sunderland are now way above us, absolutely above us.
I agree. I just want to reply to this again. We are very tight. I love you, bro. Please don't take this personal. But why are we accepting of this? Why we go, "Oh, well, they tried. You know, what can we do?" Convince them. That's Adam Underwood. It will be on a lot of money. Adam Underwood will have a nice big house, a nice big car, and get a nice, handsome salary. Go and do your job, right? So I don't want to hear, "Oh, we made a list and everyone said no. What more do you want them to do?" There's still players. There's still players out there. The whole tactic that was put down, sorry, Andre, the whole tactic that was put down by the board was, Parag said it came out of his mouth on Sky, where he said, "We know a lot of deals get done. We will be there." We were not there. Whose fault is that? Someone has to carry the can. Someone has to take the blame. And for me, it's on them. We can't just go, "Well, they tried. It's okay." Well, this is Premier League survival. This is the big dogs. This is the big dogs. And I hate to bring the man up, but Victor Orta, and I'm not trying to sit because he was a knob, but he got some big players in the door. We haven't done that. Done that.
Window over, closed. Window closed.
Over. There's no deal sheet gone in either. There's no deal sheet gone in.
We need to you know, wait for a tweet saying that the deal is either on with the paperwork submitted or off.
This is mental. This is mental, Andrea. Yeah. We have nobody that can take a set piece. We're in the Premier League.
Only Okafor with a free kick, but corners, you know, we'll see, maybe Stark, you know, but yeah, you don't have no identified ones. Maybe Wilson would have been good, you know, for set pieces. I remember that him scoring against us at Derby, you know, in the league. But yeah, I was talking previously to another content creator. I'm not going to disclose who he is because I don't know if he has pleasure about me naming him or not. But we were basically discussing the window, and he said to me, and I really agree with what he said. Even the deal that we got done, no, it's even 4 for me, not 5 out of 10. It's even 4 out of 10 for me, to be fair. But we were discussing, and he said to me, and I really agree with what he said. Basically, even the deals that we got done, you mentioned, Joe, the atmosphere in Dublin about Okafor, but even Perry, Rafinha had to get involved. Bornau and Mecha, Gilavogi spoke to them. It's not their job, he said to me, and he's right. He's totally right. He's totally right in saying that. Why do we have to get other players involved in the deal, saying that, you should really go to Leeds, even with Paixão, Rafinha talking to him, It should be the director of football explaining the project that we have, the long-term project that we have, in order to convince them, like Sunderland did, like Burnley did with Florentino, like, last season, many people laugh, but look at Lefebvre now. Who's laughing now? Look at Lefebvre now. So, yeah, you need to explain the project. Leeds is a big club, a proper club, We should really have some push. People say, Falk has no pull. It's not down to the manager,
No.
It's down to the long-term project, because the manager cannot be, maybe is not at the club in 2 months' time, It should be about selling the project to a player, a multi-year project, like, this is the role you're going to take. There's no need for me to get other players involved. I agree with what he said to me. Again, I'm not disclose who he was, because I don't know if he has pleasures about being named or not, but yeah.
Bro, we've finished the international break, right, on the back of a positive result. Let's enjoy it. Now all we're going to be doing is talking about how shit the window's ended. And I can see people in the comments say, well, you can't force people to sign. Let me just quickly give a retort to that as well. Get someone else then. Move on to the next target. I don't know why we're letting them get away with this. It is mental. Please understand. Sunderland signed Mark Gouy weeks ago. Yesterday, they got told by Chelsea he's coming back. Tough shit. Know what you can do. Guess what? They went and got a striker in 24 hours. And if they wouldn't have got Robbie, they'd have got another striker. And if they wouldn't have got that striker, they'd have got another striker. But we just go, well, we can't force him. So fucking move on. Again, spent too long on deals. Paixão, I was okay with it at the time. So it's easy to, with hindsight and that. But it is what it is. Move on. Get the next player. Get the next target. We have properly screwed the manager. We've properly screwed ourselves. For what? It's mental. Remember, folks, please remember this fact, yeah? Last summer, just 12 months ago, this club made the most in Europe for sales. The most in Europe. And now, 12 months on, after getting to the Premier League, we've probably spent one of the least in the league. The math ain't mathing. Any Aluko's doing the stats. Something's not right. Something's not right. Something's not right at all.
And I think, man, looking at the ownership, many of them, people involved in decision-making come from sports to American football. When a team goes in losing season, in the end, who pays for it ultimately? Sometimes the head coach, like a Jack, many times the general manager, the one in charge of the transfers, the trades, and picking the players at the draft. These, I don't know if you ever watched Draft Day, with Kevin Costner, but these day look like that movie, us moving around, many names thrown in the hat, in the end. But in the movie, in the end, Kevin Costner picked a player at the draft, the proper one, after everybody's against him, saying, what is he doing? Why is he doing those trades? Why is he going for that player? Why is he not picking that player, But he got one player in the end of the draft. We got no one. Many names thrown in the hat, Wilson, Aimer, many players. But yeah, it's not a 5 out of 10 for me. It's 4 out of 10. Again, the signings in defense and in midfield are good, but absolutely lack of good, established, proven signings up front, where the manager said that they needed more players. We started the window with the main target, with Rodrigo Muniz as the main target. We didn't get him because Fulham were not going to sell him. We switched to Krstovic. Didn't get him for various circumstances. Pinamonti didn't get him. There were many other links, especially on the wing. Pike Shaw didn't get him. Bakva didn't get him. In the end, Muniz, Krstovic, and the other players that were linked, Demirovic in the final days of the window, Ioannidis, all these kind of players, you didn't get him, and you basically replaced your number 9 main target with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who some people reported actually, that he was always was the main target for Leeds. How can you go straight and tell me that with a straight face that Calvert-Lewin was the main target for Leeds ahead of Rodrigo Muniz and Niko Krstovic, looking at the season that they had in the 24-25, Krstovic and Muniz. On the other side, Okafor, very good signing. They say, yeah, on potential. The problem is that he's often injured. 4 managers at AC Milan didn't pick him in the starting 11. 4. They had Leao ahead of him, yeah, but he was considered a striker. He never got any momentum. So we will need to wait for him and develop him. But we went from Igor Paixão, who did bits last season in the UCL with Feyenoord, to Okafor, who in Italy, and especially at RB Salzburg, arrived with the etiquette of a number 9, with the print of a number 9. Bakva on the right, didn't get him. Bonanotte didn't get him. Guess who replaced them? Odysseus. No one, basically. No one. So, of course, the window is not good enough. Look at the top targets. Didn't get them. Look at the replacements. The only good replacement were in midfield. We went for Diarra and Sadiki. Diarra didn't get him. Sadiki didn't get him. We went with Longstaff and Stack. Good signings, absolutely. But now he's gonna try to transform into a number 8. Stack is a number 6. Imagine us at Arsenal with Longstaff, Stack, and Tanaka. Tanaka, Stack, and Longstaff. Completely different for me. The game goes in a completely different way. Look at everybody praising Longstaff after Newcastle. I think there was so much confusion, and Farke didn't get the player he wanted in the end. So the window is a failure, clearly. It's a failure, and it's on the recruitment team. It's on the recruitment team, of course.
Do you know the mad thing is as well? Like Chelsea lose a striker. They tell Jackson off. They tell Mark Gui come back. We should have gone back to Valencia and said Semrad Mazami back. Do you know what I mean? We send him back. Yeah, man.
Exactly, man. Ramazani. Loaned him off, no replacement. We have one man less.
So just to go this, I just want to quickly share this as well, folks. So this is the actual amount of deals that have been done today. Just bear with us 1 minute, and I'll share just to show you that it can get done. 1 second. I'll just quickly share this. So that's from Lyle Thomas. So these are the deals. You've got two extra hours. These are the remaining outstanding deals on deadline day. Deal sheets need to be in for all these to go through. Wilson and Leeds is still in on that. But you can see there, this is from Sky Sports and Lyle Thomas. But look how many deals got done. Look how many. Look at Fulham. Kevin Chukwueze George. Look at Forest. Cubano, Bakwa, McNelly, Galan, Javi Galan. Remember when we were at Sunderland, 3 deals. Broby, Gertrude, Traore.
Yeah.
Roll.
Remember me and Lucky mentioning Roll, Everton. Who's in charge of recruitment at Everton? Who is in charge of recruitment at Everton? They went there and they got the deal done, in the Premier League. They are more connected in the Premier League probably than they were in the Championship at this point, because they got good deals, Grealish, Barry, Roll, in hindsight it's easy, but Hammond and Kinnear at Everton have done a better job than Underwood at least this window.
Of course they have.
It's unfortunate to say, but it is what it is. It's like that for me.
100%. They probably said, "Here, should we tell Parag that Underwood can do the job, so we can just leave him?" And I was like, "Yeah, oh Parag, yeah, Underwood's your man. Yeah, see you later, pal." Do you know what I mean? It's mental. How can you sign Biol and start to bringing in nothing for the glaring lack of creativity in this team? It's very. Do you know what as well, Danny? I was so looking forward to the ladies' show. Evie's back. We just off the back of a positive result, we'll have new players to talk about. And we've got none of that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyway.
You know what, man? Now, I was talking to Locke, in the chat when you were live. I think I was like he said. I mean, I'm at the stage where I'm looking at the agents. Yeah, we are at that stage now.
Yeah, it's mad. I don't know what happens now. I guess we wait for the deal sheet. I don't know. All Leeds A&E. It's very poor. Yeah. Do you know what? And what I have been quite relieved to see is the amount of Leeds fans that are actually understanding that it's not the manager. Those I can even see those that are critical of him are even saying, someone's put online, big up Rossi, said it's a joke. And who gets the sack when we inevitably go to shit? The man who asked for more and got let down. And that's true. It's so true. So even now, yeah, we can criticize tactics. We can do this. But if we go into, that Wolves game, let's say, for example, we go to that Wolves game and it ends up 0-0 again. And we've dominated but haven't created nothing. That again comes down to the 49ers, do you know? They've dropped the ball. Really dropped the ball.
In the end, it's down to them because of the decision to appoint Underwood and his team, But yeah, they had the job Underwood and his team, and they didn't. There were specific wishes from the manager, and everyone can see what we were lacking and in which areas we were lacking players, and they didn't get the players that we needed. So ultimately, it's a failure, and it's a huge risk and gamble because you're really relying on certain players to improve. And James, his history in the Premier League is ups and downs. Aronson, he started well in the first 3-4 games under Marsh, then completely dropped his performance, and it was not good in 2022, 2023. To Harrison, very up and down player. He is a grafter, of course, works hard, but he didn't. I think in the recent season, he didn't improve. Nyonto, he remember the best time Nyonto had so far in his career was his first season in the Premier League before the relegation. But he has not improved since then. He has backtracked for me. He's not improved. Even the squad, that we called up for the games against Estonia and with the manager Tuso, he didn't miss out. He didn't miss out because there was never a discussion about him being picked by Italy. And he picked Leoni from Liverpool, 18-year-old, Pio Esposito from Inter, 19, 18-year-old, 20, 19. He trusted the young players, Nyonto now is 21, 22. He should be there after what we saw in the first season of the Premier League, but he has not improved since then. He's remained the same player. Unfortunately, I'm really sorry because he's a great guy, very... he's a good presence in the dressing room now, because really it sparks a lot in terms of empathy, practice too. But he has not improved. Now you rely on Nyonto, Harrison, James, Hiro, Gruev, Strauk too in certain games, I think, to improve and do what Ayling, Click, Forshaw, Roberts, Bamford, Phillips, Eldor Costa in his first season, Harrison, Stuart Dallas did under Bielsa. The problem is that the Premier League has grown a lot and there's only one Marcelo Bielsa in the world. There isn't a copy of Bielsa that can improve the players overnight. Look at Tyler Roberts, played in the Premier League, now he's in League 2.
So exactly. Yeah, that's mad when you deep it. Just looking a lot, there's no confirmation of a deal sheet gone in. As of yet, anyway, there is a deal sheet in for Mark Gahey's move to Liverpool. Isak and Gahey's just mental. But 3 weeks ago, on the 9th of August, Daniel Farke did an interview with Adam Patel, right? And said, in comparison to our championship side, we are not improved our offence. We definitely need signings. We are not prepared yet for a long season. 3 weeks ago. Since then, we've signed Calvert-Lewin, Noah Okafor, terminated Bamford's contract and sent Largy on loan. Have we done enough in them 3 weeks for the attacking areas? We've got 2 players who have checkered injury past. One was a free. We've paid off Bamford and let Largy go on loan. 3 weeks. Yeah. 3 weeks, man.
Even the Bamford one, people are saying, yeah, it was good, that he decided to terminate his contract. Yeah, I thank him endlessly for what he did with Leeds. He was a great guy. He got a lot of insults, unfairly, personal insults in the past, unfairly, by some people in the fan base. You can criticize him for his performances, of course. He was one of my favorite players under Bielsa because of his redemption arc, his consistency when he played and was injury-free. But if we want to look at it professionally, the wages that he had were high because he renewed his contract with Leeds when Horta, Kinnear, and Radrizzani were still at the club. So he had long wages. He's not at that at the level that he was when they renewed his contract. So if he were to leave Leeds for another club with a fee, he needed to find a club that would pay him, a substantial amount of a good wages, because it would have meant if he signed and take a pay cut for the new club, that he was moving from those good wages, Premier League wages, to different wages. So of course, terminate the contract. What do? You find an agreement for the payment of the remaining years of the contract. Professionally, that's the professional side. The sentimental one is another thing. But professionally, it meant that we needed to pay, for a mutual agreement of consent. To usually it's like that. When you agree at a mutual resolution, there's a payout basically of the contract. Even when you find an agreement in European clubs with a sack manager, because in England, he's available to find a new job immediately. When you sack a manager in Europe, you need to pay keep still pay him for the remaining years of the contract. And if he wants to go and take a new club, he needs to do a mutual resolution of the contract with the European club, of course. Yeah, I don't know if it's clear, but yeah, bit of a blur, in terms of because my mind sometimes the Italian kicks in, and that's a problem.
I don't know what to. I don't know. Someone's made a joke in the chat saying, well, at least we can get some frees. We might as well re-sign Pat.
Yeah. Now, Dele Alli, Phillips.
Yeah, it's not an exaggeration, that, Tyler. It's not. You bang on, mate. You bang on. Not well. I don't rate Burnley's if I'm being. I don't rate Burnley's if I'm being totally honest. I don't. But we move.
The problem, mate, is that there are 3 clubs that go down. So maybe Burnley finish bottom, but right now it looks likely that we might be just one place above them. Looking at the level of the squads, if we stay up, okay, there's January in between the winter transfer window. But if we stay up, it's a miracle in the current situation. Looking at the squad, because of the lack of creators, attackers, prolific strikers. It's a miracle by Farke, if it be Farke at the end of the season, and the players, 100%. Not a miracle by the recruitment team, absolutely. It's down to, like Bielsa when he finished 9th with that squad, overperforming massively. If we stay up, it's overperforming looking at the current level, because again, we signed just 1 goal in 3 games. We didn't create enough chances. We didn't look like scoring. We signed a goal via a penalty. So again, it was blatant that we lacked proper, efficient, and clinical attackers, and we signed no one up there now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. I don't know what to do, mate, because I don't know if this deal sheet's gone in. I don't think it is. I'm like, do I hold on for it? But yeah, I'm not sure.
We just need to keep waiting about when someone locally says, or at Fulham, in West London, where I usually stay when I go to London, that area to Fulham. So yeah, yeah, that's we need to wait for a tweet, when they say when they confirm or if the deal sheet has gone through or not. Meantime, Laporte has gone back to Athletic Bilbao after many years. But yeah, everybody signing players around us, and we are the only ones basically who didn't down there.
It's mad, isn't it? It's mad when you think that. Where have you seen this? Where have you seen that?
Melia has remained, by the way.
Melia is still here. Mental.
So, gonna be the keeper of the under-21s, probably. The overage keeper, probably.
Where though? Can you show me that? Where can you tag me in that, mate? If that's Lyle thing, that's not him confirming there's a deal sheet in, by the way. That's just him saying these are the ones that would need to be done. If you've got it, I can't see it anywhere.
I'm looking on the YEP, but
yeah, it'd be there. Yeah, this is mental that they haven't been able to find him a club. It's mad. It's mad.
The last one on the YEP website is an update on at 7:20. Basically, says deal sheets left, right, and center. But yeah, there's the tweet of Lyle Thomas.
Listen to that guy Rysel, by the way. That guy chats beans. Wacko 1919. He chats beans. Sorry, what were you saying, Andre?
No, I was just saying that the last tweet on the feed in the blog of the YP is they are just reposting the tweet of Lyle Thomas from Sky saying, yeah, deal sheets left, right, and center, but we don't know if it has gone through or not, that one, because it says deal sheets left, right, and center. It's included, but has it or not? Or these are the deal, that there's no confirmation. It's in that list, but we don't know if it has gone through or not. We'll have to wait for a local journalist or a London-based journalist.
Yeah, someone in the Fulham side of things. I think the writing was on the wall when that flight got cancelled. If I'm honest, yeah. Crystal Palace have confirmed the signing of Jadon Canvot from Toulouse for 21 million. Burnley, Florentina Louise, year loan with an obligation of 24 million. See, we could have done that. Le Mans has gone to Man United.
There's some people saying now for the 25-man list, Rico Ramazani, seriously, but you cannot do that because the window is closed. And it's not like in England when you can recall a player. He's playing in a different league, so you cannot recall them. No substitute for him.
Raheem Sterling and Axel Disasi did not get a move today. Told they were Premier League options, but nothing that suited them. That'll be us, won't it?
Yeah. Wait a second, because I have the cat that wants to go out here.
No worries, mate. No worries. I don't know what to do. It's just, yeah, we shouldn't be surprised, really, Leeds fans, because this is us. I genuinely think that this is worse than don't go to bed just yet. I think, folks. Please, can we have a roundup of today's big deals? Yeah, if you want. Nicholas Jackson's gone to Bayern. Man United have signed a goalkeeper. Aston Villa have signed Harvey Elliott and Jadon Sancho. Liverpool have got Alexander Isak and Mark Guehi. Donnarumma goes to City. Ederson has gone to Fenerbahce. Hincapié has gone to Arsenal. Kolo Muani to Spurs.
Good signing.
Gundogan's gone to that team in Turkey. Palace have signed Uche and Solomon. Fulham have got Kevin, Chukwueze, George. Tyreek George. Forest have got Cubano, Bakwa, McNeely and Gallan. Sunderland have signed 3 in Broby, Gertruda, Traore. Newcastle have got Visser. Igor has gone to West Ham, I believe, from Brighton. Nelson to Brentford. Reece Nelson, that is. Roll to Everton, the midfielder, the centre midfielder. So that's more bodies added for them. Kivior has gone to Porto. Lokongo and Fabio Vieira have gone Hamburg. Akanji's gone to Inter. Brownhill to Wolves is back on. Fofana's gone to Celtic. Orged and O'Reilly have gone to Marseille. We could have potentially gone in for O'Reilly. And Chilwell has gone to Strasbourg. And that's your lot Premier League-wise. And then we'll just have to wait and see on deal sheet. But what's like we've got nothing from our Yorkshire-based journalists telling us it's done. I just want putting out my misery at this point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I was checking Delaney, Miguel Delaney. Good combination, by the way. Spanish name, Irish name. On Twitter, the last one that he said, it's the tweet that you read before, about the deal being in real difficulty, but nothing else.
100%. We've got Kevin D here who says, there you are, Joe. I just spent more than Leeds on the final day of the transfer window. 6 out of 10 transfer window, but could have been 9. Sunderland made it look like a 2. Yeah, I'd say it's a 5, mate. I'd say it's a 5. Ruben Rule says, difference between having a director of football with connections across Europe or not. Orta, for all his failings, at least had the connections in Spain. It's true. It is very, very true. We've got an update here. That was the tweet about the 3 weeks ago on Adam Patel. 3 weeks ago, man. And since then, we signed Calvert-Lewin and Okafor and lost Bamford and Largy. So we've not really improved. We just replaced like for like, haven't we? Reece Nelson, all paperwork submitted by Brentford. So it looks like they're going to get him in. We've got still nothing from our end yet. I just need toilet, Andrea. Can I just leave it with you for a sec?
Yeah. I was wondering too. Yeah, go on, mate. I'm gonna keep the entertainment going. Not much of an entertainment today, more like a theater drama. To be fair, West End drama, today. Well, yeah, I was wondering if Aimer has remained a Sheffield United player, because to be fair, I want to be 100% honest. I'm seeing many people linking us to Aimer and say go and get Aimer, but to be fair, honestly, for me, it's not a Premier League player, to be fair, because of his lack of physicality, lack of pace, very slow in moving around, honestly. Good player for the Championship, especially at Coventry, but I don't think he was the guy, in a certain sense. But yeah, we'll have to wait for the updates about Wilson and this deal sheet. But yeah, honestly, not good. Not good, honestly. Not good. Really not good, because even with the stadium plan and the fact that we want to grow as a club collectively out of the pitch too, in terms of projects and the commitment that they've gone through with the Leeds City Council, and yeah, all the project about the stadium, the exposure of the brand, many people, getting involved in the brand exposure with the investors of the 49ers, like Will Ferrell, Larry Nance, all of those, we were going in the right direction in terms of brand exposure. I know that every one of us wants, to get the old list, but you need to grow as a brand too. But all the good growth of the club outside of the pitch, in terms of media, in terms of brand, in terms of content too, you need to, in the end, having worked as a social media manager, head of social media for my local club in Italy, in the end, that's the most volatile job. Why? Because you can do a lot of good things outside of the pitch, good projects like the stadium, but in the end, you're judged week in and week out by the results of the first team. So you can do some good projects, but people now, if results don't go in the right way, will say, who cares about the stadium? We're going to be in the Championship next season. It's going to go like that. So in the end, the main entertainment...
Leeds midfielder Darko JB signed for Hull City. At least that's new. So he's gone for a permanent deal. Just another embarrassment of Leeds United in that respect, in the fact that we sold Calvin and then took him for 5 million. My man's never made the grade. And Southampton signed bloody
Leo Scienza today.
Romeo Lavia when we ended up with when we ended up with Darko JB for 5 million and now he's gone. He hasn't played for Leeds for more than 2 years, and he's gone.
Yeah.
So they've confirmed that. But that's it. Are they going to confirm? Can we go to bed yet? You know what I mean?
Well, I want to go to have dinner first before going to bed, to be fair. Yeah, but honestly, I've seen the tweet by Baron now about the confirmation when BBC was Yorks, my feed on Twitter. Honestly, it's not their fault, of course, but it screams like don't go to bed just yet when we announced Polion leaving now.
He has said no word as yet from Leeds on deal sheets. No word yet.
Nico Gonzalez to Atletico Madrid.
Gone through, yeah.
Yeah.
Gone through. Southie says, Joe, buy some night nurse and try and sleep. I'm so disappointed and feel Farker has now had a massive task. Brassed off, to be honest. Definitely.
Can I say something about this too? Because I'm glad that he says Farker now has a massive task.
Yeah.
I know that many people are Farker in or Farker out, but right now in this season, we'll be right there probably. It's not sure, but we're gonna be right there till the final day of the season. About fighting to avoid relegation. So we need to be united. We can still criticize the manager. We can still, of course, say he was wrong with that choice. He was right with that choice. If he doesn't get his choices right, if he makes mistakes in terms of team selection, team setup, reading the games with the substitutions, of course, I think he's going to pay with the job in the future. But right now, at every game, home game, away game, Leeds fans are one of the best fans, if not the best fans, For me, they are the best fans in England. And that's one of the main reasons I started to support this club when I got aware of English football when I was much younger than I am today, But the noise, the defiance, the siege mentality needs to be there every week, home and away, because the squad is not good enough. And the 12-man can be the 12-man, but in the end, it's down to the players to make a result, But the atmosphere needs to be even more hostile at Ellen Road, and even more hostile when we go to away games, because we'll be under siege probably till the final week of the window, and we need massively to stay up. So we cannot afford to be divided. We cannot afford to have agendas, narrative. We can afford to have our own opinions, yes, but I want to be clear. Probably others won't say that, even in terms of the environment around the football club, but we'll be in a relegation scrap till the end, probably. If we get more than that, mid-table, or even more than that, but it's really unlikely, it'd be a miracle. But we'll be in a relegation scrap till the end, and we need to be united because we know what's ahead of us. We know what's ahead of us. We know that we are missing something, so we really need to be, to really believe that we can stay up. Really believe that we can transfer something to the team. I know that the players are the ones going onto the pitch, them and the manager. But we need to be united till the end because there's a big task, not just for Farke, like Jason, I think it was the name, said, John or Jason. But it's a big task for all of us because we need to be in this together, in terms of a city, as a fan base. I know I'm Italian, but I feel like one of you, of course, with the same mentality.
Of course.
We need to be like that, We need to be like that. It's going to be very, very difficult, and we need to be like siege mentality, like with Revi. We need to bring that mentality till the final day of the season because it's going to be very, very difficult. Like Farke said, to stay up now, it's going to be very, very difficult.
100%. Jimmy says, thank you for that, Andrea. People said
No worries.
he wasn't backed at Norwich is the reason why he struggled. Well, he hasn't been backed at Leeds either. Surely he's fuming. Definitely would. Yeah. It's madness. It's hard. No, it's not. The only potential candidate remains unconfirmed. The dish. Yeah, the distance.
And also, there's another thing. If Ake goes in the future, people were talking about Mourinho. Do you think Mourinho accepts to get the Leeds job with this squad? With this squad, I don't think so. To be fair, and it's not like what he used to be. I'm sorry to say that. I love him, honestly. I absolutely love him, but his football is outdated today. I'm sorry. Having seen him at Roma, I'm really sorry because I would have liked him to succeed at Roma and at Fenerbahce because they are the rival of that other Turkish team, But yeah, it's not like what he used to be. But he will never take over at Leeds with the current squad, because he needs. Every time he goes to a club, he wants guarantees and he wants the club to bring in the players that he wants. With this squad, there's not much material to work with because it's lacking attacking players, It will be lacking attacking players.
It's mental, man. I still can't get my head around it. I just want them to tell us that the deal sheet's not gone in so we can go to bed. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
So you will go straight to bed with no dinner, basically. You're that tired,
I just fucked off, bro. I'm genuinely fucked off. I'm just deflated, man. I had, what's this Isaac Johnson tweet? What's he saying? Is he going to tell me just so we can... Darko JB permanent exit. Fuck off. Leeds have agreed a big listen to this. No fee given Hull's transfer embargo. So he's gone for note. But as per Baz Cooper, Leeds have agreed a big potential sell-on clause. So we're just giving away players now. We're just fucking giving away players. What are we doing?
And if you get a sell-on clause...
Who is in charge of this mockery?
No, but man, looking at the age of JB, for example, if you get a sell-on clause, get a buyback clause too. Look at the Real Madrid with Nico Paz. Get a buyback clause too. Because maybe, he's still very young, JB. It's not... you need to go and play.
No fee. However, a sell-on clause potentially as high as 50% has been included.
Basically, we've been paid. Yeah, we've been paid on potential, basically. It's like a bond, when you take a bond and you hope that the investment repays you in...
We're giving away players, bro. What's mad? What's going on?
FC 26. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. I'm starting to say silly things.
Oh God, this is embarrassing, man.
Tsimikas to Roma. Too. Have you seen that?
What's that? Sorry.
Tsimikas. Remember that some said at the start? Yeah, he's gonna join Leeds 100%, and he went to Roma in the end.
Deadline day deals, yeah. Deadline day deals. No one signed. Gave away some players.
The irony is that me and you, the window is closed. Mine is open now, but the window is closed. The window is closed, and me and you are the new Robinson Crusoe. We are left on YouTube Island, waiting for Wilson, basically. Not the ball by Harry Wilson in this case.
God, man.
And we are like shipwrecked, waiting for Wilson.
It is mad. This genuinely is worse than. This is worse than don't go to bed just yet.
Look at Sheffield United. Good things comes to those who wait. Who have they signed? Maybe a contract renewal for Reimer? I don't know. Yeah, it's not looking well. No excitement. Absolutely pull down all the vibe that we have after Newcastle, who, by the way, I think good performance, because I wasn't on the final word yesterday, so I'm gonna say to keep things up till we have some some info. I think the performance was good, but I think some commented it and celebrated like it was a win. Good point, but we didn't win. Why we didn't win? Because we didn't have the final product, and now we don't have the final product. So I have already plumbed down the vibe that I tried to cheer up by.
So if we gave away JB, have we done the same with Gelhardt? Or is he just a year loan and come back?
I think it was just a straight one. I think it was just a straight one. Gonna check on that one, by the way. But if I remember correctly, it was a straight loan to Hull City, because he signed a 5-year deal. I think when he. No, it's a long season long loan. Just a straight one, but let's check how many years he has on his contract. JUSTJOE. 2027. Still has 2 years when he returns. Yeah, but JUSTJOE, it's unfortunate because I wish that people.
Leeds haven't even tweeted about the JB thing.
Because they know that if they tweet now, honestly, having been in that position, I know that if you tweet now, all the comments will be like about the lack of signings, of course. So yeah, maybe they're just waiting, and they're gonna come out like John Cena, all of a sudden announcing the signing of Harry Wilson. But yeah, no news yet. Nothing new on the Western Front so far. On the West London front, in this case. So yeah,
they need to hold off on that Adidas Originals gear, man. I'm telling you.
If I were them, I'd postpone it. But they have arrangements with Adidas planned up, I think. So yeah. Yeah, and about Gellert, I wish that people would have not repeated what they did with Gellert. Like it was next big thing and next win with Joseph. Because I think that what happened to Gellert is exactly when he scored against Norwich that season. Exactly what happened with Joseph. Overhyping a player, etc. And I think it got a bit to his head. Honestly, now we'll see what he does with Mallorca. But yeah, I don't think he's staying after he comes back from that loan. To be fair, honestly. Is and what the move that he did was more like self. I'm gonna underline that self. Some reference there before sight in a certain sense, But yeah, I wish both of them well. Honestly, to be fair, young players, I wish young players well. But yeah, young players. Gellert is 23 now, so I wish that maybe he does a good loan and we sell him for a good fee to a championship side. Honestly, because his time in the Premier League and with Leeds for now, I think it has gone. Yeah, we have finished the window basically talking about JB Gellert. Yeah, that says a lot about the final hours of the window.
Do you know the mad thing is? Yeah, just checked. When you click on that new Adidas range,
yeah.
When you clicked on it before, there was a big advert on the Leeds United website. Click on it now. It's not there.
Wait, let me see.
Go on the email that we all received saying that it was dropping on 8 a.m. Tuesday the 2nd. Click the link now. The advert's no longer on the Leeds United store. It's not there on the front page anymore, and it was there. It was there. Get it off! Cancel!
The last one that I have is Weekend Roundup. Is that one?
Nah, so this email was sent on the 29th of August.
29, okay. I didn't get that email, to be fair.
Did you not? No?
No. Maybe it's only a UK thing, but I didn't. I only got one. The 29 or 2. Wolves ticket information and listen to Newcastle United live on LUTV. These are the 2 emails that I received on 29. Maybe on spam, probably.
Maybe.
No.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you would click on it. When you click on it, the advert's not there. The advert's not there. Thank you for your super chat, bro. Sterling still needs a club. No, stop. Imagine if we get whacked of Fulham now after this, yeah. What I don't understand is the club didn't want to sell Joseph Ramazani, but if we are struggling financially, we should have sold them, not loaned. I mean, I said that about the Joseph thing, but we could have used any money. But hey, it is what it is. That's happened now.
Joe,
yeah.
Let's do a little game.
Uh-huh.
A little game is these are the free agents, right wingers available on the market. Ziyech, Hakim Ziyech, Adam Unas, Nathan Redmond, Alireza Yahambash, Munir El Haddadi, Anwar El Ghazi, Husseini Diabate, Samuel Kalu, and then all the others are not worth of a mention, to be fair. So yeah. And in terms of number 9s, let's see. Paco Alcácer, Emmanuel Dennis, Karl Tokwe-Kambi, Yohan Boli, Giannini, Patrick Bamford, Isaac Success, then Abu Bakar. Yeah, these are the options available if you want to sign someone off the transfer window now, basically.
This is where we're at, innit?
Yeah.
We need to sign Hakim Ziyech, maybe.
Yeah, he was
Wolves are progressing with talks for Josh Brownhill.
He was playing in Qatar.
Exclusive Nizar Kinsella. Understand Harry Wilson will stay at Fulham despite attempts for a late move by Leeds. Done. There we have, folks. It is over. It's a wrap. It's game over. This is from Nizar Kinsella of BBC. Yeah.
Did Solomon go to Palace?
Palace, I'm not sure.
We didn't get even the last Plan D. We didn't even get Plan D. We didn't even get Plan D. Bakva, Pakshaw, buonanotte. Buonanotte, really. Buonanotte. Good night.
It's confirmed now, folks. Just
Wilson.
I'll just quickly share it with folks so they can see it. Sorry. 1 sec. Oh my God, I can't believe that. I was genuinely hoping that we might pull a rabbit out of the hat. You just never know, but
yeah. You know what happens in Italy in those cases? The director of football is interviewed by the media. I don't know why you don't do that in England, but it should be done this time. Ask him why. Don't ask Farke in the press conference. Just ask him, as Adam Underwood explained to you why he didn't get the signing that you wanted over the line? That should be the first question in the next press conference for Farke. I'm asking that to who's going to be attending the press conference. Ask him, as Adam Underwood explained to you why he didn't progress and sign the players that you wanted, Daniel? That should be the first question in the next press conference.
Yeah, but they won't, man. We had Isaac Johnson asking, is Noah Okafor a signing for the future? He's fucking 25, man. That's what we get, man.
25, yeah, 25.
Mental. Nah, like that there is like what we're seeing is deals that are in the balance, but there Nizar's just said exclusive. Understand Harry Wilson will stay at Fulham despite attempts. So 100%.
Yeah, Farke will have to dress it up, but again, I mentioned it before. He's been the voice of the club for 3 seasons now. I know that you have a different culture, you have a different way of handling things, but in Italy, the director of football does interviews pre-game on the pitch with DAZN, and they ask him transfer questions. they held all press conferences in certain parts of the season, meeting the press, and the press can ask them about transfers, they can ask them about certain players, they can ask them about loans. I don't know why you don't do that in England, because in the end, it's not down to the manager if we don't sign a player. You should ask the people in charge of the transfers about failed transfers, and get an explanation. I don't know why you don't do that in England, to be fair, because I know Italy, the football is probably worse, not without a probably, it's far worse than the Premier League, but that should be a good attitude, Ask the people in charge why they didn't get the things done. Falke can only say, yeah, ask for players, but they told me there were struggles and they didn't get the players. Now we're gonna we have done James. He's gonna try to patch it up, because in the end he's a man that cares about the club. He's not gonna say publicly. He's gonna go publicly against Adam Underwood or the ownership. We don't want a Nuno Marinakis situation. Because he's going to go in that territory. But really, the question should be asked to the people who can answer those questions, not Farke. Farke can report an answer that is going to be given to him, because that the press officer, before every press conference, briefs the manager about certain questions that can be asked, and briefs him and says, they can ask you this question, they can ask you about that topic, you should say this, you should say that. They prepare, there's always a briefing before a press conference. But it shouldn't be the one responding to those. It should be either the chairman, as he spoke with Sky, before Everton, but it shouldn't even be the chairman. It should be the people in the director of football. Director of football. It should be him answering the question.
Andrea, I want to thank you for everything.
No worries, man.
Everything you do, everything you help and support the channel with. Thanks for being available over these last few weeks. Thanks to Lockie, Jerome, thanks to Dara, thanks to everybody who's come on the channel during the transfer window. It's been long, it's been drawn out, and it's ended absolutely terribly. And I agree with what Danny and what Andrea's saying. The answers need to be, they need to give us answers. They need to explain. If that means someone loses a job and Parag says, I don't know. But Farke now is he's got a serious job on his hands. How can you watch them first 3 games, see that we can't fucking create, and then go, okay, okay, yeah, it's done, man. It's that Nizar guy who's tweeted it, right? I don't know who else has Joe Donahue tweeted it or something. I'm not sure. Deal off, that's Joe Donahue as well now. Giving it the disaster. What a shambles! What an absolute shambles! On a day that we've seen rivals get 3 players in the door. Sunderland got 3. Fulham got 4, and we got none. And took 7 hours to get Wilson, booked him a flight, everything. If you're booking a flight for a player, that deal's getting close. So what the feck's happened? Do you think we booked a flight for a player, right, and then offered a loan? No. A deal was close. Otherwise, no flight booked. We've either got no money or they just ain't got a clue how to negotiate, and Fulham have gone, nah, you're all right, mate. See you in a bit.
Yeah.
This is worse than don't go to bed just yet, because we've give away JB. We've give him away. We've got a sell-on clause. What if he... Oh, my God. It's embarrassing. This is what I mean. It's embarrassing. Are you telling me there weren't another club that wanted JB outside of Hull that you couldn't have got some money for him for? Instead, you're going, oh, yeah, you get him and give us 50% if you sell him in future. What?
Strange one. Really honestly. Really weird. I was
what's happened with that Wilson, bro. Because the mad thing is, right, you've booked a flight, you've then pushed it back. So he was on his way, he was coming, right? Fulham have then gone and got 3 new wingers. 3. Kevin, Chukwueze, Tyreek George. How have you not managed to get that deal over the line? How?
Yeah, there's no return, honestly. There's no return, questions needs to be asked. And honestly, honestly, I've seen people go for less failures. Honestly, I'm not up to questioning, to call for for people's job, to be fair. But yeah, there were clear goals, clear targets by both the manager and the chairman, both Fark and Prague, and the recruitment team didn't get the things done. So it's a failure, plain and simple. There's no excuse and going back from that.
Bro, Sky Sports are way behind, man. Don't worry about what Sky Sports are saying. Graham Smith says Leeds United deal for Harry Wilson didn't get done. Fulham change of heart at last minute. Scuppered deal sheet chance. I call cap. I call bullshit. Why? Why did they want to keep him when they've just signed 3 wingers and a striker? Tell me. It's bullshit. They said no, did they? Right-o. Of course they did. Bullshit. Anyway,
and
this is worse.
In January,
this is worse. Yeah.
Imagine, Joe, in January we are in a relegation battle. We will come to a relegation battle if we are like in the red zone. They say, "Oh no, they are in a very bad position. I don't want to get down there and maybe play in the championship next season." That's why we paid 34 million for Rotor and played him as a 9.
People will believe that, though. People will believe that and go, "Well, we can't help it if Fulham pulled the plug." Fuck off. It's lies, man.
No. We need to do that. Like you said at the start, we would have liked that signing more if it was done like 2 weeks ago. It would have been a good player for the squad. But yeah, I don't see anyone honestly capable of turning it around on the right wing and up front, because all good players, especially in Mecha, Calvert-Lewin, but as substitutes, as impact players from the bench. Mecha can start, but yeah, he fights, he goes all around, but he's not a clinical goal scorer. You know, if you look at his goal scoring record, he's an impact player. You know, in terms of he's a team player. He works for the team. He presses the opposition centre backs, presses the does the full line of pressing, goes with aerial duels, but he's not a clinical finisher. You know, he's not. So yeah, Pirot, honestly, I hope he improves, but for me, he's a top championship striker, not a Premier League player. For the intensity, maybe he's an impact player for the last 20 minutes when you on the counter. We know that he can score on a counter attack, but yeah, you have 2 physical strikers and no fast player coming off the bench. You know, the up front. Maybe Okafor, but they don't want apparently to play him in the 9. They want to play him as a left wing because he apparently, like Jer said, I think. That he's come because it's been basically, you know, wanting to move to a club where he can play on the left wing. So yeah, we need time to wait for him to develop again into that role because he's been playing as a 9 recently. So yeah, we're waiting. We're waiting for a play on the left and hoping that other players don't get injured. You know,
that's where we're at, mate. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad, innit? It's bad, and I just don't. Yeah. Fulham side 3 new wingers today, player in the final year of his contract, and then all of a sudden they said, "No, we want him to stay." Of course. Mental. And we've still got Melier.
We still got Melier, but yeah, about your reasoning, I completely agree with you. You know, they signed 3 wingers, and now they say, "No, we want a 4 or 5 wingers staying at the club." Again, when you look at that, I'm gonna say, I don't believe, honestly, Fulham said, we're gonna keep him.
Yeah, we're gonna keep
him.
Course,
you know, in a potential World Cup year too.
Yeah,
for Wales too. So yeah, honestly, I ask why.
In the final year of his contract as well, Andrea. Final year of his contract. So he's gonna leave for free. They decided, you know what? We're gonna keep him so he can leave for free instead of getting some money for him now. Right? Okay. Bullshit, man. Bullshit. There's no excuses. There is no excuses. The manager said he wanted players. You've seen our rivals or newly promoted teams coming up all get deals done. There's no excuses. They cannot hide. They cannot hide.
I agree more with what Darkovic in the tweet says. You know, according to BBC, we couldn't agree terms. That's a better explanation, to be fair. It's not down to Fulham for me because they are stuck now on the wingers department, and Wilson in the final year of his contract, like you pointed out, it's a surplus for them. It's a completely surplus for them now. It would have been good for them to get a fee because they're going to lose him for free now, if not in January. But it's really unlikely that he leaves in January because it's unlikely to get a fee for a player that is 6 months left on his contract. So yeah, I think the terms not agreed, it's a better explanation, honestly, because it was too late. These deals take time, in terms of getting finalized. So yeah, on the Leeds side, we've seen other clubs that can do that pretty easily, but yeah, in Leeds, in Leeds regard, we've seen that usually these deals, the name comes up and then it takes like 2 weeks to finally get it done. Remember Biol, remember, Okafor.
Mental, mate. I don't know what to say. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Blaming Fulham, yeah, that's basically what. It's not our fault. Blame Fulham.
Yeah, I like with Buonanotte.
Brownell's going Wolves, man. Brownell's going Wolves, Oliver. Best we can hope for is a broken Dele Alli. At least still fitting with rest at broken what we've bought. All A&E are we. All A&E are we. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give over. Someone's put this. This is an excuse. This is a belter. Fulham were probably just toying with us. Knew we were desperate. Offered Wilson to us so they could get their deal sorted. So we stopped looking elsewhere. And when Fulham got their business sorted, they came back to us and said no, so they could weaken us.
Yeah,
okay,
because Tony
that's
Khan.
That's any Aluko maths.
Because Tony Khan at Fulham, is in charge of the storylines
exactly.
at AEW too, because they own AEW too. So
that would be an A&E. That would be AEW storyline in half.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God, I don't know what. Yeah. All morale's gone. All morale's gone. Daryl on Twitter. It's right. All morale is gone now. Everything that we had from after Newcastle, which boosted everyone again, is now just gone. It's gone. It's mental, Andrea. It's mental. Listen, I know you need to eat. Yeah, I know you need to eat tea. I'm gonna go walk the dog or something. Just walk him around for hours and hours.
Yeah, I'm gonna see.
Like the meme, the meme from Narcos where Pablo Escobar is just sat swinging in the chair. That's me, man. That's how I feel at this moment.
In Italy, there's another story. There's a man who argued at a discussion with his wife, basically, and to go off. He walked off the house to have a little walk around the neighborhood. Walked 235 kilometers. Went to another region, basically, and he said, "Why have you walked that far?" He said, "Yeah, the discussion at home. There was in the news 2 weeks ago." He walked for 234 kilometers.
Brilliant, man.
To cool off.
Brilliant. Well, mate, I think we'll leave it there, eh?
Yeah,
we'll leave it there. Listen, folks, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks, Andrea, for this 2 hours that he's given us. I hope you enjoy your evening. Leeds have a big task now. We've got some time now between now and next game. Maybe we'll do a review over the next couple of days or something. I might just not even speak tomorrow and have a full day off of streaming potentially. Yeah. Anyway, listen, enjoy it. Have a nice evening, and we'll see you in a bit. Bye, folks.